literature that transports you to times of cowboys and the Western landscape. Some people think of The American Frontier by William C. Davis, or Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained. However, when I think of a Western piece of literature, I think of Red Dead Redemption 2. A video game made by Rockstar Games, developers of Grand Theft Auto, the Max Payne series, and their previous title, Red Dead Redemption. This video will answer the question how Red Dead Redemption 2 creates an active audience, discussing Week 2's discussion of audiences and their activeness from the BCM 110 course. As an audience, what areas of the game engage us and cause us to share through speak of mouth or online? When answering this question, I'll be using articles on audiences by Sue Turnbull and video games by Mario Pizarro and John Sichter, splitting the video up into 3 separate chunks to break up the analysis of the game, discussing the gameplay and its interactive features that keep players hooked and active while playing, the story and its key parts and moments that set itself apart from traditional media, and finally the ending and exploring how audience feels after the conclusion of the game and what they take away from it. Analyzing the game in this way will make it a whole lot easier for myself and you as an audience, allowing you to follow along with the structured analysis. So without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. In all games, the gameplay is the core mechanic. It's how we control the character, interact with the game's world and its environment, and actually experience the game. The gameplay is generally the most significant medium in which an audience member is able to experience what the game has to offer. Red Dead Redemption 2's gameplay takes the identity of an open-world third-person shooter in Western America, with shootouts with old Western weapons like revolvers, lever-action rifles, shotguns, and dynamite, through vast open Western landscapes that can be explored on foot or on horseback by talking to non-playable characters that imitate what it would have been like to be in that era. Its immersive nature of gameplay allows for unlimited reproduction of actions, greater control, and game experiences, letting audiences be actively engaged in the Western-like world through the gameplay features. But why is this important? John Sichter's article states that the gameplay is a way in which the player is actively taking part as the character, making decisions on their behalf. These gameplay elements that Red Dead presents to audiences allows them to actively make choices and explore how they want to within the Western setting. Choosing to commence in gunfights or simply just explore the landscape, audiences are able to make choices that make them active while playing the game. The interactive nature of the gameplay enables audiences to be active, as well as enhances interrelationships between the audience and the gameplay by how we don't just read them, we experience them, as stated by Sichter, displaying how Red Dead Redemption 2 makes audiences active through its gameplay.
Loyalty, Arthur, it ain't. I had a goddamn plan! John.
Now that the gameplay of Red Dead Redemption 2 supplies a clear view into how it makes audiences active, we move into the story, how it meshes with the gameplay to supply a novel-like experience that allows audiences to interact throughout its telling. The story of Red Dead Redemption 2 is split across 6 chapters and 2 epilogues. First starting off in the mountains after a robbery has gone terribly wrong, which eventually would turn into conflict from the characters that eventually split up the main gang. Audience members experiencing this through Arthur Morgan, the story unfolding in real time, as stated by Sichter. Through the story, audiences connect with Arthur and the relationships he has and he gains throughout the story with Dutch, the leader of the gang, Hosea Matthews, Micah Bell, John Marston, and much more. With each character throughout the story, Arthur builds a deeper and deeper connection with them as they progress, but so does the audience, as they are the ones who are making the choice to interact with those specific characters. This allows audience members to have a sense of responsibility for Arthur's actions, stealing money, robbing trains, entering conflict with other characters. Their control over Arthur enables audiences to have a deeper connection and engagement with the story, experiencing the chaos that unfolds. In a way, Red Dead Redemption 2's story can be seen as an extension of literature, another way to experience it through greater immersion and personal agency, as stated by Stitcher. The story also allows audiences to connect with Arthur on a deeper level, seeing the point where he regrets his own actions when talking to another character, saying,
I ain't changed. I'm still a bad man.
and openly admitting to killing a man.
Yeah, I got TB. I got it. Beating a man to death for a few bucks.
Due to his actions, Arthur caught tuberculosis, and his display of emotions in this moment shows Arthur's development as a character throughout the story, going from someone who shows loyalty to Dutch and his plan to someone who regrets his action and wants to make a change. Overall, Arthur's story is guided by the player. They're able to see a change in emotion presented through Arthur and feel what he feels, like how a normal novel would display development in a character. However, in Red Dead Redemption 2, audiences experience this as they play it, unlike a normal novel, and poses the question to audiences, as stated by Stitcher, what would we do if given the situation, rather than what would the character do? This creating an active audience in their participation of Arthur Morgan's story, feeling the emotions that he feels and experiencing the challenges that he faces through the choices that they make throughout the game. The story of Red Dead Redemption 2, being able to foster empathy, transmit values, and identification through characters. This being done through Arthur and the characters that players interact with throughout the game.
I guess I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be.
Now, arriving at the end. Looking at the players' emotions and feelings after they've experienced both the gameplay and the story of Red Dead Redemption 2. From what I found, most players were upset, some depressed, crying after witnessing characters' deaths, Arthur's especially. By spending all this time in his shoes, audiences are able to identify with some of the experiences that he went through. After all, they were the ones who were controlling him. Not one person felt this way, but thousands that played the game. Sue Turnbull says it perfectly in Media Audiences Is Anybody Still Watching? That even though audiences are now imagined as an unidentified number of people who may not have any interaction with each other at all, they are united by the experience they have through the mediated content. Red Dead Redemption 2 unites all audiences through its gameplay, and the story's ability to make audiences feel the same way. Through their active engagement playing the game and experiencing the story, audiences feel the same universally, and share their thoughts and opinions online. With the rise of the internet, audiences have had more access to how they produce and create and share different products online with audiences similar to themselves. This activeness of sharing online and sharing in general shows the importance of the outcome of the game, and how through the game's story and through the gameplay, Red Dead Redemption 2 makes us active. With the gameplay, story, and ending all analyzed, I believe each show how they contribute to answering the question, how does Red Dead Redemption 2 create an active audience? From the gameplay, in the immersive, interactive features that fully encapsulate you in the Western setting, to the story and the heartfelt characters and experiences you share with Arthur along his journey, and the ending and the universal emotions that we all feel and share online. Each of these aspects together answers the question how Red Dead Redemption 2 makes us all active, as well as displaying its importance, as without Red Dead Redemption 2, audiences wouldn't have been able to experience and share the time they had with this piece of literature.